to an exclusive video interview with Enterprise Wired. Today we have with us Tatyana Nelson, Chief Financial Officer and Head of Quality and Supply Chain Operations at CARR Biosystems. Tatyana is empowering teams and driving success through innovation and strategic leadership. Let us get to know her through this conversation. So last month, with Enterprise Wired, recognized you as the most iconic leader in business 2024. And a few months before that, you were also selected as the best life science equipment manufacturing CFO of 2023, right? So by so can you share with us, our listeners, what you believe were the pivotal steps in your career that led you to such achievements?
I'd start with the definition of success. To me, I think success is a combination of two main factors. It's passion and it's experience. And when those two factors are present, I think sky is the limit. So on the passion side of things, I have many interests in life, but I have to say that top one of them is running and growing businesses. This topic is near and dear to my heart, and I've done a lot of studying and gaining understanding on it as well. To me, it's thrilling to see the results that my team and I create, because to me, that creates opportunities for everybody involved, right? For team members, a lot of times it's career growth. For customers, it's access to new innovative products or services. For shareholders, it's the opportunity to make return on their investment. And for broader society, right, of purely making it a better place for all of us to live. So that's on the passion side. Now, if I look on the experience side, there I've taken deliberate steps to gain as broad of understanding as possible. In some areas, it's important to specialize, right? So if you take, for example, a scientist, a physicist, let's say, when they do their work, it's important that they specialize and they drill down on a certain idea to create new innovative ways there. For business, I strongly believe that a broader view is essential. And so when a person can think outside the box and when they can turn maybe common ideas into creative and unique recommendations, I think that's what separates innovative and successful businesses from middle of the run companies. So where the broad experience comes from, to me, it was multifaceted. It started from gaining the education, and my majors and concentrations included business administration, finance, management, and economics. And then I very much intentionally look to work for different industries, because I learned very quickly that I can learn different approaches and then I can put them together to make something very much unique. So I've had the opportunity to work in aviation, in manufacturing, learning and development, logistics, and sports. The other interesting component in all of that is, different companies are in different stages and in different ownership structures, which also gives it quite a different twist, and exposure to those, I think, is powerful as well. So that for me was the opportunity to work for public companies, for private companies, for PE-backed, for VC-backed, and really kind of grasp that whole variety of opportunities there. Mm-hmm. And then on internal part of it, different departments in the company, right? Because that adds another whole dimension to it all. And so I'm very glad that I had the opportunity to either lead or partner with various departments that you see in a typical business, right? It's from sales and marketing to supply chain and operations to legal and IT. Mm-hmm. And then when we were doing the interview for the article, I also mentioned that it was important for me to make to step through each career step that's possible. So I started as a financial analyst, then grew to manager, then director, VP, and CFO. So Bottom line is, I guess if I were to sum it up, it's passion and the broad experience that I think were pivotal overall to get me to where I am. And but I want to highlight, I'm not done yet, right? I still see a lot of opportunities to make the difference, and I'm looking forward to doing so.
That's a great answer. So, Tatyana, my next question for you is, speaking of future opportunities, what do you see as your next steps?
I am passionate about transforming and growing businesses, as you're already picking up. And so for me, by now I had plenty of opportunities to see that a lot of times my ideas are unique and outside the box. I've also had many chances to prove that I can actually execute and bring those ideas to life. And so to me, the next pivot that I'm planning to make is transition into the overall company leadership positions, such as CEO and CEO, because I can fully leverage my passion and experience and benefit all the stakeholders involved.
So yeah, my next question is, what does it take to grow the business?
I think there's several factors, and if we were to zero in on just key ones, right? I think number one is having the vision and unique value proposition.
Yeah.
Then it's ensuring that you have a large addressable market. So there are actually opportunities, right, to offer that service. And if there's not large addressable market, next question is, well, can you actually create one? Because sometimes people don't know that they need the service or the product until it's actually created. Third step for me would be creating the strategy and really figuring out what is that world-class customer experience would look like, and ensuring while you're delivering that, you can have the business fundamentals in place, right, to make it a viable business. And then it's to execution, bringing those ideas to life, very key. Not the easiest of, of all of this, very important. But those would be the key things for me. And then I think an overarching idea on all of that is making sure that you really focus on people. Because if you can create a team and inspire the team to deliver, right, this idea or this vision, then that's the path to make that dream a reality.
And I think it's a very valid point, focusing on people, because yeah, people are the ones who make the difference, right? So can you talk us about your style of leadership?
I agree. People are key. It's very difficult to achieve if you don't have that component. I think it's really leaders' goal and responsibility to leverage different unique and diverse experiences and strengths of the team members, and really creating that common goal that everybody's excited. So to your question about my style, I would say my leadership style is transformational. And the main tenets of transformational leadership style is, number one is creating that vision. Number two is making sure that you communicate it clearly and provide context. And then empowering the team members to actually deliver. And you don't just abandon your team in doing so, right? You work alongside and make sure that you remove the obstacles and make pivots where it's necessary.
Excellent, excellent. That was a great answer. So, Dada, my next question is, how do you ensure you have support from the broader team when moving forward with execution?
That one, I would say the key things to achieve that execution are relationships, reputation and trust, and gaining buy-in. And I'll tell you a little bit more in detail on that, right? So I think it's very difficult to do anything about without the relationships. And how do you build relationship? I think the key there is, if you're authentic and you genuinely care about people, that's your first step to actually build relationship with people. And from there comes trust, right? Trust, and then you build your reputation. There's a saying that trust comes on foot and lives on horseback, kind of highlighting the overall importance of the fact that it takes time to build and you need to treasure it when it's in place and make sure that it stays there. And in that, right, I think it's important for a leader to keep themselves to very high standards, because you become an example to your team, right? And it's important to model the correct behavior. Creates a psychologically safe environment where then people feel free to be themselves, because as leaders we should be looking for unfiltered ideas in order to develop even better ideas from which we may be starting. So to me, for all of this, right, it's a path to achieve the buy-in, because when you ask for team members' input, and this original idea becomes improved, and you add layers, you discuss, etc., and you end up with a common idea that then people feel ownership of, and then as a team you go forward and execute. And that to me is the power to actually to achieve success.
So on business growth ideas, how do you determine that an idea is worth pursuing?
I typically operate in the for-profit part, right, of the business world. And so in that, let's say, sector, is the idea needs to meet the return on investment requirement. And the second one is it needs to be solid on ESG front, meaning the environmental, social, corporate governance impact, right? So is it actually making it better for all stakeholders, society, better, or is it not so good? And that maybe that's not the way to go. So I think first you look for, well, is there need for product and service? Because if there's not, it's difficult to go forward with that. Is the idea unique? And a lot of times you hear, is this a first entrant? Is it not, right? Then uniqueness specifies, I think, also the chance of success there. Does it have a path to required return on investment? And then does it have a positive effect on the world? And so if you can answer all those 4 questions, I think you got a solid start, that it's a great idea to pursue. And then you need to really get comfortable with the risks, right? So what are the risks? What are the benefits? And to me, I also always think about plan B. So if there are risk, what is the pivot so that you don't have to scramble later when you go, and you can have that all laid out. And then execution becomes key, right? Again, to execution, but without it, you can't make it a reality.
Exactly, yes, execution is the key. Yeah, so thank you so much, Tatyana, for taking the time to connect with us today. And apart from that, are there any parting words as we wrap up this conversation?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share my ideas. Enterprise Awards for the most iconic leader of business recognition. It's been an honor. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all the people who have played or playing pivotal role in my growth over the years and today.
Mhm.
And overall, I'm very excited about the future, and I look forward to the opportunities to lead companies and achieve results while making the world a better place.
Thank you so much. We'll soon have the video published. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. And personally, I love, I learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers will have the same view.
Thank you so much as well. Thank you for taking time.
Yeah.